Okay, so I'm currently at campsite 13, Devil's Tombstone campground. Finally got all set up. Had a later start. Check-in for me wasn't until 5 o'clock. So I spent that time hiking. Yeah, that's pretty sad. It's pretty quiet up in here. So closer look at my truck tent. This thing found me tooth and nail, but it is cool as hell. So it is so it's B-full pop-up tent for the truck tailgate. So wanted to start turning my truck into a mobile campsite. So got this bad boy reinforced. Got a futon and a foam mattress underneath with foam squares from Harbor Freight. And it actually pops up and it actually gives you a lot of headspace, which I really like about this tent. Even though it was a pain to put together, it actually is kind of paying off. It took me a minute to figure out the installation of this tent because it comes with these straps. And at first I'm like, where the hell did these go? But it's pretty neat how it deploys and sits right on top of your tailgate. Now that I still have daylight, I'm gonna go scavenge some wood. Got my natural fire formation started. Got a natural fire starter here. Got the TP motion going on, so the flame ought to catch pretty quick under the flame. So I'm going to go ahead and give this a go. Okay, she's going now. Okay, so I don't have much. I'm not really a camping channel. However, I will say I'm going to give you two recommendations. The good old axe from Harbor Freight special. Pretty darn cheap for what it is, and it's a very decent axe for the money. Also went to Lowe's and picked up a folding saw. Great for making little things of kindling for the fire, or if you want to make more precision-based cuts for your fire. Great tool to have. The other thing I like to rock, and I do this for my paranormal equipment as well, is I do another Harbor Freight special, open tool bag organizer. Keep everything out in the open, bug spray, you name it, and keep fire starters and lights all in one. So it's a one-stop shop, so I don't have to keep fumbling around in my truck. Okay, so another thing I'm going to recommend is portable power. Just like this one has an AC and DC output for if you have bigger things that need charging on the fly and quickly. And I also have my handy dandy 10,000 watt charger portable power bank. I use this on paranormal investigations, but a must for when you're doing overnight camping like I am tonight. So two vital things I like to keep with me in my camping haul here, because mostly everything nowadays requires a charge. It's always convenient to have that for any type of phone or any speaker that you need. But for me, once again, is for my paranormal equipment and my lights to hold a charge. Okay, y'all. So, what good is a bonfire at night without some spooky stories? So, learning more about Devil's Tombstone, some interesting facts. Interesting fact number one: mobsters from the late 1920s and 30s actually came throughout here and hid buried treasure. And yes, that treasure is still unfound today. I thought that was a pretty interesting fact around this place. Now, fact number two: it is said that not only is this one of the oldest campgrounds around the Catskill Mountains, however, it is also said that the devil himself used to haunt the mountains here during the early settlement days around Devil's Tombstone. So it's also been said that he has caused boulders to fall on settlers, but strangely enough, that actually did happen. So either wrong time, wrong place, but there actually has been confirmed deaths by boulders falling down the mountain around the site here. So earlier today, I had a late check-in time, so I couldn't get set up until 5. However, when I was hiking the trailhead near Notch Lake, killing some time, I was really hoofing it up the mountain, and I decided to take a break, and I was sitting on this fallen tree, and I started sensing a deep red aura, like a heavy presence. And I love being out in the woods. I love sensing the energy of things, but this was unusual energy for me. Very it was heavy, but it was low key. Hard to explain that. As I've set up camp here, feeding the fire, having a drink, and I started getting a ringing in my forehead, and something approached me to my left and said, "Hello." And of all nights where I could bring equipment, I forgot my equipment. I was so focused on getting all my camping gear, my essentials for tonight, and of course I forget my paranormal equipment. Thought that was interesting to share with y'all, especially around the campfire. But there's definitely some residual energy connected to the grounds here. I can't quite pinpoint it, if it's the man himself from downstairs, but there definitely is some passerbyers nearby this campground, and if I had my equipment, I would probably actually get a decent light show. Going to haunted places like the Shamley and haunted property, but something just hits a little bit different around this area deep within the Catskills. But I thought that'd be neat. That's I need to share with y'all, seeing as how I'm having a campfire and just kind of hanging back tonight. But it does make me question. I'm like, why was the man downstairs, if he in fact did haunt the mountains, why would he take an interest in this area? So it definitely begs the question. Definitely turns the gears in my mind on that one, because out here it's really pretty. You have Notch Lake where I was, so it's a simple campground. It's the road's right there, but I still can't pinpoint it. And I think if I was here during a more quieter setting, where there wasn't, no campsites were taken or anything like that, I could probably actually get some decent activity and responses out here. So if y'all would like to see me back out here in the off season conducting an investigation, let me know down in the comments. But I thought that was some pretty interesting facts to share with y'all. So how about some more tales by Tex by the campfire? So when I embraced my journey as a psychic and a medium, I had a lot of crazy experiences and visions happen. But one that I will always remember is there was a woman I worked with, who has a native heritage and bloodline, and when I gazed upon her, I saw white and orange energy, and when I tapped in, it was like almost transporting my subconscious to a spiritual realm. It was almost like a scene out of Avatar. Everything was vibrant, glowing, and as I'm walking the grounds, I see champions from other tribes walking, and it almost felt like it was on the edge of space. I can't explain it. However, they all looked at me, but they didn't see me as an intruder, more like a visitor. And all of a sudden I got transported back to where I started, but this time I was in front of this giant wall that had markings from where natives started, the origin, everything, chiseled on these rocks. And looking at the history of the Native American and how far they've progressed and expanded, it was amazing seeing that. But what really takes the cake on my psychic journey with this is, as I'm looking at the wall, a fire actually lights up by itself in front of me, and three tall, they look like warriors or maybe champions from other tribes, approached me, and none of them uttered the word, but the one in the middle, it was like telepathically, it's like he chuckled. He said, "Hit Netherwalker." And when he said that, I came to and my eyes felt like they were on fire. And maybe some of them call me the Netherwalker, which makes sense because I tap between the living and dead energies of people. But I thought that'd be an interesting story to share with y'all during my psychic journey. But it kind of stuck with me, the Netherwalker, someone who walks between both, right in between the nether, the living. But I've never heard that before. So if anyone's ever heard the term Netherwalker, please let me know. Anyone of the Native heritage or anyone who follows up spiritually. But I thought that'd be a cool story to share by fire, because it's one of the things I look back on and I'm like, did I really just witness that? But some of the visions I've gotten and some of the places I've gone to learn the way of the sight, it's been such a I don't know what kind of journey you would call it, but I'm going to say when I embraced what I didn't realize I had, it's like a piece of me came back. I feel full, if that makes sense. Like I feel complete. And I know not everyone's going to understand the sight, but there are times I get drawn to a place and I find a person of interest and I give them a reading, and it's just like I'm reading deep in the soul, like whether they had a heartbreak, lost somebody, something, but it'll be a powerful vision and I'll pick up things from them. So that's why I started my channel, to not only use my abilities but also to use a mixture of my equipment as well. So my journey so far has been no dull moments. Even though I started my channel, I want to pursue it more. I want to start giving y'all proper content and proper excitement when I come across haunted locations. But I figured this would be a new take on my usual content. Camping at night, having a fire, sharing some neat experiences with y'all while I'm camping at the Devil's Tombstone. It's an incredible day. Even though I had a late start, I had enough time to set up, have a fire, have some drinks by the fire. But most importantly, I wanted to share some of my unique experiences with y'all. The real ones following me from the beginning. I want to give back to y'all. I want to give y'all good and proper content. So thank y'all so much for sticking with me, following me, and my new followers. Thank you. I'm going to be dropping a lot more interesting content, so that's for sure. But you never know from me. From an overnight stay at a haunted hotel to visiting a very haunted property at night, coming across an actual cryptid. And a lot of these times I go into this, I go blind. I keep my mind open and I keep my mind focused with these investigations that I do. But when I start picking up stuff and when I start experiencing stuff, when I'm filming, y'all are experiencing it at the same time as me. I'm keeping it raw for y'all. I'm not over glorifying everything, and I will debunk stuff too. You know, it's so easy for many to say leaves are shuffling over here. Oh, it must be a spirit, but it's no more than a baby mouse. So I'm gonna listen more. I'm gonna get more facts about places coming up. But for those who have, y'all that's been sticking with me, I thank you from the bottom of my heart, because even though this is a very small channel, it's a passion I wanted to do and start for myself for the longest time. And now that I do it, I just feel more complete with it. But I also need y'all support with that to help me grow my channel and provide more content for y'all. So don't forget that subscribe, that like, and that notification bell. Keep up with me on my latest paranormal journeys. But those of y'all who have been sticking by me since some of my earlier videos, y'all are the OGs. Y'all are my personal peeps, and I want to keep providing content for y'all. I mean, I love going out in the field, and even if I don't come across anything, you still have to appreciate the history and the architecture wherever you're investigating. But I don't investigate without a reason, and I always investigate to think I am going to come across activity. But it's y'all, the real ones that are been supporting me and helping my channel grow. So big respect for y'all. That was Tombstone. It's been real.